Let's get into some more history. Because again, we're not just going to sit around and look at a bunch of pretty buildings. North America Moors, elimination and rewriting of American history. The territories of Canada, United States, and Mexico was known as India Superior and were populated by the same people that was wiped out across the ocean during the Russian Revolution and German Revolution of 1918. The Russian Revolution alone may have exterminated a 5-decade-long bloodbath that slaughtered 100 million Russian Tartarians. As the Old World Tartarians were eliminated, the New World Order Romanovs then divided the imperial territory as Canadian, American, Mexican lands, seized the world power, and rewrote the history of Americas. After taking possession of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, the New World Order agents reached the New Amsterdam, New York, Washington, and the Great Lakes of North America, settling in Milwaukee, Chicago, and Detroit. From there, they organized the massacre of tens of millions of buffaloes, cows, and wild horses and transformed the assembly lines of the electric car factories into oil cars. Peep how Muslims play into this. The original American Moors were likely Islamic. Islam was in America and had a big influence on America because you have a total of 565 names, 484 in America and 81 in Canada, villages, towns, cities, mountains, lakes, rivers, etc. are etymologically Arabic, which were designated by locals long before the arrival of Columbus. Many of these names are in fact the same as names of Islamic places: Mecca in Indiana, Medina in Ohio, Medina in New York, Medina and Hazen in North Dakota, Medina in Ohio, Medina in Tennessee, Medina in Texas, Medina and Arva in Ontario, Muhammad in Illinois, and Mona in Utah are just a few notable names at the outset. A closer analysis of the names of native tribes will immediately reveal their Arabic etymological ancestry: Anasazi, Apache, Arawak, Araucana, Chauvin, Cherokee, Cree, Hohokam, Hoopa, Hopi, Maki, Mohican, Mohawk are only a few. Islam was everywhere in the Americas. One just had to look for it because you can see the evidence from Queen Khalifa, California, which we are going to get to, Alabama, which is Alabama, to Tallahassee, which is Tallahassee, to Medina, Ohio, Moorestown, New Jersey, to Isla Morada, Florida, and to Alhambra, California. So yes, Muslims have left a big impact on America. What happened to the Muslims of the Americas? Well, have you ever heard of the Spanish Inquisition? Dum Diversas of 1452, issued by the Pope, authorizing Christians to enslave Muslims and non-believers to take their land. But because no one disappeared, we're all here. It's just that everyone has become ignorant. There are over 500 cities and towns in the United States named after Muslims, and a huge part of Europe as well. The textbooks, his story, and education of today are all manipulated. Therefore, Western academics will not get us out of our deep sleep, because Western academics is the institution that has put we the people, Lenape Moors, Washita, to sleep. To begin with, we need our own institutions and scholars that are not compromised by oaths and by Western academics. The Moor comes from the Orient, the Far East. What's also interesting is that the Oriental means Western scholar who studies Islam. According to the book, Orientalism by Edward Said, Islam came from the Orient. Additionally, if you read subsection 4 of the Delaware law, it will tell you that the Lenape Indians were formerly known as Moors. The Lenape were Delaware Moors originally. However, the word Lenape means we the people, or true people. Lenape also means serpent, dragon, naga, nigger. Likewise, Indian names like Sioux and Dakota also mean serpent or dragon because the Moors, Indians, named themselves after serpent wisdom that they worshipped when Moors ruled the world. I don't think we realize that throughout our history, we've been lied to about everything. And if you think about it now, everything they lied to you and tried to manipulate your mind about was basically about you and about your people so that you couldn't find yourself. Imagine you being from here. Imagine you being of Islamic descent, right? And what are they doing? The whole entire time since you've been in the United States, what have they been trying to do? They've been trying to get you to hate Islam, hate Muslims. Have they not? They have painted those, they have painted them, they have painted us as the worst enemies on the planet. They run around with their military guns into every country, raping and pillaging and colonizing, right? But they literally will put it on their TVs and make it seem like Islam and Muslims are the serial suicide car bombers, terrorists of the world, and they must be stopped. And these people must be culled. Have they not sold you that narrative for over 20, 30 some odd years now? Have they not constantly put on our TV an Islamic Muslim face as the face of our enemy for over 2-3 decades now? Yes, they have. Yes, they have. They have done it for everything. They have done it for every single war. Every single war, they put their face up there. Every single time they name some terrorist group, they make sure that group has an Islamic background. Do they not? Why? So that we can never get back to the core of who we are. Everything they have designed in the history books has been designed to make us hate ourselves. And has been designed to make us look one way while they're going the other way. Oh yeah, you guys go over here and worry about that while we take over these buildings and keep it moving. We don't want y'all to know about giants. We want y'all to just think that y'all were always this height. We don't want y'all asking too much questions. Because once you start asking too much questions, you're going to realize we're lying. We're not telling you something. And then you're not going to believe our bullshit anymore. Like right now, how can you go to school or even want to learn history when history is a lie? All the pieces are missing. How can you even be a person who has an affinity to hate something? How many of us have hated something that we should have never hated because we were told to hate it? Think about that for a second. History you up. There are people warring right now that don't even realize they probably shouldn't be warring. It was orchestrated. And that's why I'm telling y'all this, because everybody can sit there and post all the Tartarian buildings, all the Tartarian structures, and talk about, free energy and all the rest of that. But if we don't get down to the crux of our history and what they did to rewire our brains, we're never going to get back to the source of us. And that's why I'm making these videos. So again, just know that they may have took the cross, but I'm just telling y'all right now, we didn't use the crosses for what anybody thinks we were using them for. You understand? We've been lied to about just about everything. We were channeling energy with our devices. It wasn't praising Jesus. We were channeling energy with our devices. All right, let's get it right. Okay? And now we know, let's not have any hate for Islam or Muslim people. It's a program. We've been programmed. Let it go.